This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Delighted to join with Eddie Hearn. The weigh-in's concluded. All that is left is tomorrow night. Yeah, massive event on Saturday night, and the whole week's been incredible. Yeah, how are you feeling ahead of tomorrow night?
I mean, look, the whole of Trafalgar Square hired out for the weigh-in. Turnout was incredible. Obviously, 96,000 people live on DAZN around the world. It's just going to be a brilliant night. The main event is scintillating. The undercard's unbelievable. Get ready for a special night tomorrow.
You promoted a lot of Wembley events. I think this be your fifth now, I'm saying? Fourth, yeah. And nothing, you know, how does this compare to the ones you've done before?
Well, you know, Joshua Klitschko is going to take a lot of beating, but this card, this card, you know, the build-up has all the potential to be an even more historic night, and I believe, like I said, tomorrow will be special. Desperate for our guy to win. I believe he will, but it's going to be a very tough fight.
When you look at it now and the journey with Anthony Joshua and where you've been with him, I think you've been with him since the Olympics, and there was that photo that Matchroom shared of you when he first signed, both in matching waistcoats and stuff. And when you see sort of how he's developed from a 20-year-old guy that won a gold medal to now being the man that he is at 96,000, I think I read something on Twitter yesterday that he's almost sold over half a million, and it's just incredible. So it must be special to see it.
He's changed the game. You know, we've done a great job for him. His team 258 have done a great job for him, but he's just such a good man. You know, that's the difference, and that's why I'm so emotionally invested. Obviously, we know he's made a lot of money, and we've made a lot of money on the journey, but it's more than that. It's about enjoying the experiences, and there's been so many ups and downs, and I believe tomorrow night could be one of the great ups. And I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to sit there, to see him walk out, to feel the excitement, and hopefully see his hand raised. And you know, I'll be very proud if he can get the job done.
Absolutely. And one thing I did want to touch on, yesterday it sort of got brushed under the carpet and sort of silence, but on Wednesday there was a story that came out. I don't really know who it came out from. I think Spencer Fearon was the main one to come out about the split with the rumoured sort of fallout between Don Charles and Daniel Dubois. Yeah, I guess when you hear things like that, is it off-putting for both parties, could you say?
Not really for us. I mean, you know, we can't control anything that happens on the other side, and who knows what's true. I mean, Frank Warren and the team have denied that there's any kind of split or rift. We're told that Don Charles is ill, but will be in the corner tomorrow night. Obviously, he wasn't at the weigh-in. If that's the case, he'll be in the corner tonight. If he's not, like, honestly, I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference to the fight itself. Like, Daniel takes a lot of input from his dad. The work's been done in the gym. I think when the madness of tomorrow night unfolds, I think he's just going to come out and do whatever he's going to do anyway. So, I don't know, like, you never really know how a camp's gone. Every fighter will say the same thing. Great camp, ready, etc. But, you know, on our behalf, great camp, ready.
And when you look at sort of take in terms of the pressure, and I know you spoke about it before and made previous comments, you fully believe that it could be too much for Daniel and he could end up reverting to type?
Yeah, 100%. And I don't blame him. I don't think anybody, like, it takes a very special fighter to deal with that situation, you know, and that pressure. And AJ has done it many, many times, and I know he'll be ice cold tomorrow night.
I did want to ask you about Joe Gallagher's comments on TalkSport Boxing. I don't know if you would have seen it, but he said that if AJ wins tomorrow night, which is one of his first, I think he said it's his first live opponent that he'd have faced. Yeah, what did you make of it?
These people are so salty. I mean, it's such a salty cut. Like, Joe Gallagher actually should have a picture of Anthony Joshua in his lounge, because Joe Gallagher's had a great career out of boxing. He's a good trainer. Do you know what I mean? But what AJ has done for the sport has enabled his fighters to earn record paydays. I mean, Joe Gallagher is the head trainer of the Mike Tyson boxing gym in Saudi Arabia. I don't think that boxing gym would exist without Anthony Joshua. You know? So, like, and when you look at the resume, you're telling me that Dillian Whyte, when they fought, right, when they were both like young guys wanting to rip each other, are you telling me he wasn't a live opponent? Are you saying when AJ had no experience at all that Vladimir Klitschko wasn't a live opponent? That Joseph Parker, the other world heavyweight champion, wasn't a live opponent? That Alexander Povetkin, probably 4 years before knocking out Dillian Whyte, wasn't a live opponent? Andy Ruiz in the rematch after just beating him wasn't a live opponent? I mean, even like Otto Arlin and Ngannou, you know, everyone in the build-up to that fight, oh, this is a tough fight. Well, all of a sudden, he's never beat a live opponent. It's absolute bollocks. And Joe says some weird things sometimes, God bless him, but on we go.
Moving on, one thing I did want to ask you about yesterday, it only really got picked up today, actually, and just before the press conference face-off between Tyler Denny and Hamza Shiraz, there was, I guess, a conversation between you and Ben Shalom. It didn't seem it was one of the most friendliest conversations. Yeah, I guess if you could enlighten on what was said and what really happened.
I think it was a bit of a joke, really. He just came up and said, "What are you doing in this picture?" And I said, I can't remember what I said, saying like, "I'll knock you out," or something like that. And I felt bad because he froze like a ghost, and now he's doing all these interviews saying he got threatened. But I mean, I'm sorry, he's obviously comes from a different world. But no, listen, I think he's very excitable. He's learning in the game, and I wish him all the best. But I think he said he was joking at his comments. So was I. So I've asked Guildhall, obviously where the presser was. I spoke to Lost and Found and asked if anyone finds his arsehole to let us know.
I mean, like, what did you make? What have you made of this whole dynamic all week of you and Frank Gelmo? But obviously the relationship with Ben.
I mean, this is just Riyadh season. We're all working on the card. It's not like we're talking. I don't have a fight with Ben. He doesn't have a fight with, as in we've got 2 fights together. Not dealt with him. I haven't even said a word to him, and he just came up to me on stage and said that yesterday. So, I have no problem. I've said before, I have no problem working with these guys. All I just said was that when he's actually ready to make fights, we maybe can make fights. You saw the other night in the interview with Dawn Smith, and I don't like the way he phones all the outlets like Boxing Social and IFL TV and asks them to edit interviews and take things down, and he's just got to relax a little bit. He's very precious, and you can't be in this game if you're really that precious and emotional. So yeah, hopefully you can just toughen him up a little bit and he'll be good as gold.
Last couple from myself, and one thing I actually did want to ask you about, I don't know if you would have seen it, a good friend of yours, Thomas Hauser, wrote an article at the start of the week for Boxing Scene, talking about Turkey al-Sheikh and Saudi Arabia. I don't know if you would have seen or had any thoughts on it?
I mean, the day that I spend time reading a Thomas Hauser article is the day that I actually leave the earth. If you think I would waste 1 second of my time reading a Thomas Hauser article, you must be joking. The bullshit that guy has written in the past about Anthony Joshua, honestly, I haven't even read the article. So and I wouldn't even comment, because he's just, you talk about saltiness. I mean, he's saltier than a salt beef bagel, that geezer. He should just leave the sport and go and have a sit down.
Final one from myself. Aside from Anthony Joshua, Josh Warrington and Ishmael Davis both made weight. That Warrington face-off there was intense.
Listen, Anto Kakachi's a great guy, and so's Josh Warrington. That is a great fight between 2 great champions. That'll be a war. And Ishmael Davis, I love Josh Kelly as well. Obviously, we looked after him for a long time. He's a good man as well. 2 great kids. That's going to be another great fight. What a night tomorrow. Enjoy.
Absolutely, Eddie. Thank you for your time, mate. Appreciate it.